Yo, what up, everyone, and welcome to another brand new episode of the Behind the Baller podcast. That is the world famous, award-winning, chart-topping, and the most unorthodox business podcast, Behind the Baller. All right, y'all. Yo, fresh off the plane from Tulum, your boy is back. The old boy, that is. I am your host, Ben Baller, not Ben Humble, also known as the Korean John Cusack, a.k.a. the Korean Roy McAvoy, a.k.a. the Korean Liam Neeson, a.k.a. the Koreatown Hustler. BTB Army, what's good, y'all? Did you miss me? Gave you that little edit, the little best of the Koreatown Hustler series. And I started realizing my sister's getting involved in this TV show that they're trying to do about my life and obviously include her in it because she's my sister. And she was breaking out these crazy ass stories yesterday. And I'm like, fuck, man. I got to do this K-Town Hustler Part 3 and get you guys to this fucking crazy ass shit that went on in my life in 2009 before I met Nicolette. Like, what a fucking year. I would be starting, I think, 2005 on the K-Town Hustler. I got to check. But a lot of shit's coming up, man. A lot of good stuff. We got a surprise guest on today's show. I'm not even going to mention who it is because it happened out of nowhere. I think if you read the fucking liner notes, you'll see who it is. But he always has a lot to say. And I don't want to mention his name until we get on the interview. But guys, I'm on day 2 of this intermittent fasting. I've always heard that word intermittent fasting or that term. And I'm like, what the fuck is it? Right? But my wife has kind of been on it for a while. And if you've seen my wife's body, I don't even talk about her body. Like, I'm just saying like she's lost weight, slimmed down, got abs. She's very proud of where she's gone. And meanwhile, motherfuckers posted pictures in Tulum and shit, and dudes is calling me SpongeBob SquarePants. That was a fucking good one. I haven't heard that one yet. That was pretty funny. But I've been wanting to get on a diet, you know what I'm saying? I lost a little weight before I got to Tulum, but I ate like a son of a bitch when I got there. And big shout out to my dog, Marcus Spears, a.k.a. Swagoo, from the Swagoo and Perk podcast. He's from ESPN, former NFL football player. And he gave me the exact details on how to do this shit right. Everyone has their own little thing here and there. Look, man, I just kind of go with one thing and see how it is from there. I'm not trying to, I trust, certain things. But he gave me the formula. And I feel different already in 2 days. It's just an interesting thing because this is my schedule. Every morning I wake up at 6:30. At 6:35, after I've taken a piss, I immediately have my coffee. It is the go-to immediate. I don't give a fuck where I'm at. If I'm in a different city and I wake up that early, I wake up at 7 or whatever, the first thing I got to do is get my coffee. And it's been natural for me to do that for the last 10 years maybe, but it's been more direct, like at home, I'll have UCC coffees, whatever. And I have coffee throughout the day. The thing is, I don't mind milk in my coffee. I don't drink straight up, but I drink cold brew too, but it's hard to do that at the house, right? And I'm lazy. It's not like before when I was taking London Writer School. I would do the certain things, whatever. But it's weird because I'd have to have straight black coffee. So today, I'm going to go get some green tea, no sugar in it at all, and some black tea, no sugar, some oolong tea, just so I have something in the morning that's not water that can get me going, right? Now, my boy Swagoo said, after, I think he's been on it for 3 weeks or something, or maybe it's been 6 weeks, I forgot, but he said he's been feeling really good, a lot of energy. I feel a little off here and there. I felt kind of like, I felt slim throughout the day, but last night, so what I'm doing is I'm doing 8 and 16. It's 8 hours where I can eat, 16 hours where I don't eat. So after 7:45, I'm done. I'm not eating after 7:45. I sit for the night. So, the thing about me is I might go to bed at 11:30. I might go to bed at 1:30. So just, when I wake up, I'm fucked up because, I'm tired of shit. But usually when I wake up, by the time it gets to like 12 o'clock, my stomach is slim as a bitch. Ain't shit in it. I've already taken my shit for the day. It's just difficult because, as soon as I have my coffee at 6:30, by 7 a.m., I'm on the toilet, getting handling my business so I can, get my day started. So it's just been a little off. But yeah, I'll keep you guys updated on that. I don't know if you guys care about, whatever, but I know I've said this at least 5 times on this podcast in the 2.5 years I've had it, but I did lose 50 fucking 3 pounds in 88 days back, 13 years ago, but 14 years ago. Yo, listen, fuck all that. Tulum, we got to get into it real quick, man. It was everything I wanted it to be. Now, of course, it wasn't the wedding in Hyde Park that we had planned, which is, technically, it wasn't Mayfair in London. We planned a wedding to renew our vows, 10-year anniversary. It was a big deal, and it was like, this ain't gonna happen. We're gonna gotta renew it at maybe 15, 20 even. But shit, at 20, dog, I'll be fucking 59. Like, nah, dog. It just, I don't know. It's gonna be kind of crazy. But Tulum, I don't give a fuck how many memes or how many influencers or all these people that go there. Fuck all the hype bullshit. It is the truth. It's legit. Okay. There was some cap, but it was very nice. Expensive as shit to do it the way I wanted to do it, but nice. Sure, there was ways to save money here and there. I was not trying to hear it. I didn't want to hear no, oh, we could wait this. No. Hell no. I wasn't cutting not one fucking corner. It was our 10-year wedding anniversary, 12 years together. It was a glorious time. It was 6 days in paradise. Me and my wife have not been away from the kids that long. I got to really give a huge shout out to my mother-in-law and father-in-law for taking care of the kids and getting them to school through, actually it wasn't that bad for them, right? It was a Thursday, Friday, and Monday, and part Tuesday. Yeah, it wasn't that bad. But I'll say this. The flight was a breeze. LAX to Cancun, it was like barely 4. It was like 4 hours and like change, maybe 4 hours and 5 minutes. It was real fast. As soon as we landed, customs was a motherfucker. Ain't no global entry in fucking, in Cancun. That shit, they don't give a fuck. It's not like when you go to Dubai or go to fucking Asia where they have a first class, flight line and whatever. Yeah, if you'd have flown private, it'd been different. Maybe you'd had your different customs here and there. Regardless, I'm not trying to hear this shit. What really fucked me up was, the good thing is I didn't really eat on the plane like that. I didn't really eat before that. I knew I wasn't about to be fucking having a stomach ache. You know what I'm saying? Because it was an early ass flight. We had a fucking 7:50 a.m. flight or some shit like that. I forgot what, or maybe it was fucking 7 a.m. flight. I forgot. It was hella early. When we landed in Tulum, it was like 3 o'clock or something, right? 2-hour fucking drive. Driver's ready to go. We go through customs. I'm sorry. The customs line, though, was a fucking movie, right? And then the driver's there. We got, a black suburban car. Driver doesn't speak English. I'm not tripping. I'm all good, whatever. This dude was driving like a bat out of hell. It's a 2-hour drive. The motherfucker got us there in 1 hour and 35 minutes. Now to cut 25 minutes off that trip was crazy, because when you start getting onto the fucking bumpy road is some shit, but he cut some shit out, Let me break down Tulum to you. Less than 10 years ago, way less than 10 years ago, maybe even 7 to 6 years ago, this place didn't exist. Now, there was land there. There was a city called Tulum or whatever, but there was no resorts there. Was nothing like that at all. This shit is very, very recent. Even Casa Malca, I think, is within the last like 4 years or something, maybe 5 years. My boy Ray, a.k.a. Crime by Design, he was actually the first person I ever seen go there before any motherfucking influencer, whatever it may be. And it is nice. There's ways to, I'm sure that there's influencers that figure out certain deals and whatever. But look, I'm not with all that bullshit. I did what I did. I showed my love, whatever. It was cool. But I was treated very well. The people I was that were handling me at the hotel, from the concierge to everything else. I was staying, in a beachfront master suite. Open the fucking doors. Boom, we're on the sand. And I had a security guard, which was kind of like, mandatory. And the thing about this is, I have a few friends who've gone many times. I have a friend who lives there. I have my wife's friends who visit a lot. So there was a lot of input. And I've been to Quintana Roo, right? So I've been there a few times. I've been to Playa del Carmen. I've been to Cancun. I've been going to Cancun for 25 years now, right? So Tulum is very boho, right? If you guys know what bohemian is, and, sort of like Coachella, but this is the real bohemian vibes, right? So that means that, some of these places don't have fucking full electricity. At a 5-star resort, the thing with Tulum is, if you stay at Playa del Carmen, there's going to be a Conrad there. There's a Ritz-Carlton. There's, major resort people there. When it comes to Tulum, this is like very boutique style, resorts. And, a lot of these hotels don't have AC in them, which is fucking crazy, right? Because it was fucking, 85 degrees, humid as a motherfucker, and the sun is out there beaming on you, right? And that water is different. I don't give a fuck I've been to Cabo 25 times maybe. And you think about Cabo San Lucas, how convenient it is, 2 hours and 20-minute flight, 30 minutes, maybe 50 minutes if you're seeing deep to get to your telly, whatever, but you're pretty much, you're there. This is a whole different side of Mexico, right? Now, I ain't gonna cap. Where we stayed, Casamalca, that shit was legit. Okay, this was Pablo Escobar's old estate. He owned this area. It was, I guess, his estate mansion house. They turned it into a resort. There's artists there, that have done artwork there. There's a real cause piece in there that's got to be at least close to $1 million cause joint. People be like, oh, is that fake? Whatever. And they've fucked it up, man. They've polished it and whatever, but it's a resort. They don't give a fuck. But it's dope that that's there. There's, these huts and like these suites that are up, and it's real jungle vibes. It's crazy. It's very, very fresh ass place. Again, expensive as shit though. The crazy part is their cheapest rooms are like $800 a night. And for some of the people be like, oh, it's not a big deal. It is if you try to stay there for a little while, you stay there for 6 days or something at $800 a night. By the time you get out of the resort fees and taxes, everything, that's the band, right? So, you stay there for 5 nights. It's 5 bands just for the room with nothing else. And that's a small room. I'm talking like, 400 square feet is some shit, So you want to stay in some shit, you got to pay some bread. Every time a waiter came to see me, whether it was on the beds outside, room service, inside the restaurants at the resort, it was $140. It was $200. Morning breakfast, fucking lit. Have my motherfucking huevos and, and queso and fucking quesadillas. I had fucking, cafe. The coffee there is incredible. They don't got no like lattes like that shit. It's just great coffee there. There's a lot of vegan food there, which is surprising, but not surprising because it's Tulum and, you got all these fucking yogis that go there that are into yoga and all that shit. That whole lifestyle it's that whole bohemian lifestyle. So I didn't really see any influence there, like people like that were in that shit, but it was, a beautiful place to capture pictures. The water was perfect. The pool was dope. The restaurants inside the hotel, I think they have 2 main restaurants that were dope. One is Asian infusion, like Japanese, a little bit of Chinese. Then they had their international restaurant. Then they had room service. And then obviously you got the bar, cabana service, all that stuff. But it was lit. I'm not trying to say everything about the hotel, but it was very good. The other hotels that we checked out to have drinks and kind of kick it, have had a meal there, whatever. B Tulum, like B Tulum is like the hot spot right now. That's where motherfuckers is going. They even had Tesla chargers outside the hotel. People are like, oh, it's not that fucking common, the fucking Tesla. Hey, stupid, dumb fucking dumbass, stupid ass idiots. You ever been in Tulum before? Nah. Okay, then shut the fuck up. Right? It's like imagining an NBA team in North Korea. Like, you're just not going to see that type of shit. Okay? You got to understand, man. This is a fucking island where the electricity, even at the fucking places that have electricity, goes out at random points of the day. So you ain't going to have constant power like that. So it's a trip to see a Tesla in that area. I haven't seen one, but they had Tesla chargers. Okay, so I don't know where the fuck these people were with the Teslas, but B Tulum is like that, the 5-star hotspot. another spot called Nomad. But Nomad was dope. Had some drinks there. It was a weird trip. We were staying in the quiet part of Tulum where it wasn't that bad. It was like a 15, 20-minute walk to get to some action. And it was just beautiful. It was, the weather was good. Everything was right nighttime. Vibes were right. No one's like super dressed up. You ain't got to come out like my wife ain't had to wear no crazy ass dresses or nothing. You know, she ain't got to come out there in a fucking, in a bandage dress or any kind of fancy shit. And most of the really, really fancy spots and the quiet spots, like the main, I don't know, 5 or 6 resorts that are near me, they stop serving drinks at like 10:30. Then after that, it's like quiet time, you know, and it was dope, you know. I appreciate all the people that were giving me suggestions, but 95% of the suggestions are places I already checked out, already knew, and the rest of them are just shit that I didn't want to fucking go to, right? So the crazy part is we were chilling on the beach, taking pictures, kicking it, and then my wife was like, yo, I want to go see the ruins. I want to go see the cenotes. And she's getting all these ideas from her cousin and stuff, and I'm like, yo, like, I'm just trying to chill, man. You know what I mean? It's a 10-year. I'm not trying to do all this extra shit. And I've already been eating like crazy. Like, when I say crazy, I mean legit 4 or 5 meals a day, like big ones. I'm like, fuck, man, I need to chill. Drinking Mexican Cokes all day in Mexico. Obviously, it's not called Mexican Coke there. But, you know, there's no fucking corn syrup. It's just that real cane sugar, that good shit. Drinking, you know, having my tequila and drinking, you know, whatever the fuck, having my Pacificos and drinking beer, whatever. So cenotes are, you know, obviously the ruins, whatever, and there's these beautiful pools, but they're natural, you know, it's natural, it's real water. It's like they won't even let you enter these natural ruins, these scuba diving pools and these fucking caves. You can't enter these spots if you have suntan lotion on. They won't allow suntan lotion. It's like perfect, literally drinking water, right? It's like a tripped out thing. Even the locals that live in Tulum, that live in Quintana Roo, they go to these cenotes and they're so fucking popular. There's so many people there to get these pictures at these ruins that if you want to go to the real dope shit, it's like an hour away from the hotel. And I'm like, nah, dog, I'm good. And like the roads get fucked up and you go and you might have to walk another 20, 30 minutes to go see, like, it just, these are beautiful ruins. But I'm like, dog, that was not what I was trying to do on this trip. But we did hit 3 cenotes and we had an amazing driver, by the way, man. This guy was fucking amazing. His last name was Chi. And I guess his great-grandparents or his grandparents were from China. Super dope dude. And fuck, if you ever try to go look for this dude, he's a taxi driver named Mr. Chi. I forgot what the fuck. I got to get his info and give you guys. This dude was definitely the plug. Spoke perfect English. Was amazing. But yeah, man, you know, some of the highlights was Rosa Negra was definitely the spot that's popping crazy. You know, everyone is fucking there, but not necessarily my vibes, right? There's a spot that we had called Wild. It was all right. Now, Arca, fucking excellent. But the best part of the best restaurant that I ate at had to be Heartwood. That's Hartwood. Heartwood was definitely the best fucking food I had in Tulum. No cap, every single place that I ate at in Tulum was just an incredible fucking meal. It just couldn't get better and better, and it did get better and better. Nicolette had her first steak at the hotel at the international place called Philosophy in our resort, and we got a tomahawk, and it was fucking one of the best steaks I've had in a while. And I had some really good steaks this year already. It was fucking incredible. Great times, man. I had a lot of people saying like, yo, man, you know, you way too rich to be waiting in line. You should be flying private, this and that. Like, look, there's people with way more money than me with 9 figures, you know, that are flying into Cancun on commercial, okay? If you look at even Kanye, he's allegedly worth $6 billion, which he's not. But that motherfucker's been flying commercial a hell of a lot lately, okay? So I'm not trying to hear all this stupid ass bullshit. You guys are reading the room fucked up. Nobody cares about how much money you got, especially even in that corrupt country where you can buy shit. Look, they're not fucking hearing it. They don't give a fuck. The only thing you could do is we rented some Vespa scooters and we were riding the scooters down the street and I didn't have my helmet on and I got stopped by federales. I had to give the motherfucker, you know, 300 pesos, which ain't shit. But there was times where these dudes were asking for more money. But thank God I had my security guard. So he would talk to him and be like, yeah, that ain't happening. Now, I am going to try to go to Whole Box next because everyone tells me that's the shit. And I believe them. And that's also in Quintana Roo right there. And it's about almost a 2-hour drive and then like a 20-minute ferry ride, which I'm not looking forward to. But the crazy part is, your boy got ulcerative colitis. And I've been eating beans and cheese and all kinds of crazy shit and just all kinds of different seafood, just all types of shit. So when we had to go home and had to take that 2-hour drive, that motherfucker hit different. About an hour in, I told my driver, this time, thank God, when that black Suburban, he's like, yo, man, you speak perfect English. Dude lived in Toronto. I was shocked, man. Like, dude was born in Yucatan and then, moved to Toronto. I forgot why. I think his family worked for a bank or something. He's telling me the story. And then came to Tulum, was like, yo, I want to live in Whole Box. And I'm like, okay, shit, I got to go there. But about an hour into the drive home, back to the Cancun airport, my stomach starts rumbling. And I look at Nicolette and she's already tired as hell. I'm like, yo, I'm sorry. We got to stop. I'm not going to get into all the details, but thank God we did stop. It's 5 pesos to use the bathroom. I would have paid motherfucking 500 pesos. I had to go, like, for real, okay? But again, man, it was definitely a lit time. I can't see me bringing London Rider or Kaya there until Kaya is at least 12. And that would mean that London's like way in his teens and everything. That'd be a cool thing because then we can go surfing. We can go, there's some water sports, get some ATVs and shit. But this ain't like the area for kids. Like this is a sports spot for motherfuckers who could drink alcohol and or into yoga and into that type of shit. It was vibes. It was definitely vibes. I'm sure there's other shit that I'm missing. But yo, I want to get into this interview and we're going to talk about the situation about Ukraine and we're going to talk about the repercussions and all the fucking, the end result, or I'm sorry, the damages that are going to happen, with this ongoing war between Ukraine and Russia and this whole wild ass shit. So we're going to get into a couple commercials, jump in this interview with my dude, and I'm sure you guys are going to have a blast because my boy is always wild. So yo, Miles, you already know what the fuck it is. All right, y'all, we'll be right back. This Saturday night, Bad Blood comes to a boil as George Masvidal takes on Colby Covington in the main event at UFC 272, and MyBookie is upping the stakes. Double your money on your initial deposit and back Masvidal or Covington to win via KO to take advantage of a MyBookie boosted odds payout. It's easy. It only takes a moment to sign up at mybookie.ag. Use my promo code BENBALLER and you'll instantly double your very first deposit. Now with that extra scratch in your account, place a bet on any fight on the card, including what will be absolutely an action-packed main event. Don't miss out. Secure your MyBookie double deposit bonus today by using promo code BENBALLER and gear up for UFC 272. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. It's mybookie.ag. Use promo code BENBALLER. The secret of creative testing is this. No one knows what they're doing. From CMOs to marketing managers, everyone is making it up. Make your life a whole lot easier and finally know that you know with MarPipe. MarPipe is a new testing platform for Facebook ads that lets you do creative testing better. The average MarPipe customer reports that their ad performance doubles in less than 30 days. I did some tests with some of my baseball cards and the results were off the charts. This is not some shady offer you're going to find in your spam folder. MarPipe is an Adobe-backed ad tech platform that is remaking the digital creative industry. It's deceptively simple. Just upload your assets and MarPipe will create hundreds of ad variants and seamlessly launch them with one click. Marpipe works with companies that are spending tens of thousands on Facebook and brands as large as Mars, Tubi, and Quip. And Business Insider magazine calls Marpipe the Moneyball of ad creative. If you're spending over $25,000 a month on Facebook advertising, you need Marpipe today. Book a free demo at marpipe.com/baller right now and get a free $2,000 credit. Sign up for your free demo and get a free $2,000 credit at marpipe.com/baller. marpipe.com/baller. Guys, you know me, Mr. Positivity. To keep the new year positivity going, Audible has created a destination for complete well-being that delivers inspiration, encouragement, and actionable steps no matter what your goals are at audible.com/wellbeing. Audible editors have curated a range of titles featuring experts in a wide range of self-care and self-development categories. From mastering your emotions and improving relationships to getting in shape and finding more success at work and at home. Among the listens are brand new titles from some of the most inspiring original voices in genre, including best-selling self-help expert Mel Robbins, who returns with a new podcast called Here's Exactly What to Do. Coach Pamela has created Mastering the Skill of Reinvention, which can help you turn the life you dream of into the life you live. Renowned music producer and performer Major, who offers Major Frequency, a revitalizing journey into the healing power of music. Listening opens up a world of opportunities for discovering insights wherever you are. And these titles can give you the confidence and motivation you need to build the life you deserve. Audible.com/wellbeing. Yo, BTB Army. I am fresh back again, from my 10-year anniversary. And I got a special guest that just randomly hit me up, and we have these conversations, and it was something I thought a nice little impromptu chat about what's going on. And I discussed my opinion on the Ukraine situation and with Russia and everything and all that. But this is a business show, so we should get into the effects of what this war, not what it might do, but what is gonna happen and what is happening. And of all fucking people, I got Trax NYC, the craziest motherfucker that I know, who happens to be an ally of mine, a rare ally of mine in the jewelry business. And he's been on the show 3 times, the fucking 4th time now. Maxud, what's good, bro?
Not much, man, not much. And you know what I'm saying? I'm going to get right into it. It's more than business, because any real businessman has to take risks. And what you're seeing right now on a world global stage is someone who's risking it all at the age of 69, about to turn 70, after a lifetime of all sorts of shit. And they're risking it all, and they're risking the world with it. And people don't really realize that, what position this guy put himself in to isolate, to Putin, to isolate a whole nation, to have people turn against them. Now, you could do that in some cases in a business sense, sometimes risk it all. It could be on a lawsuit. It could be on some business deal. As shit happens, and, you have to push the red button, or, people start to posture and who's willing to bleed more and all this other shit. And to see it on a historical scale, is something that my eyes are glued to, bro.
Yeah, you know what? I have to be honest with you. No matter what you do, I don't give a shit. Look, I don't really watch traditional news anymore. I don't watch news, period. So my news comes from Twitter, my favorite social media app. It comes from things here and there. No matter what you do today, regardless, or in the last 10 days, however long this has been going on, there is no way to avoid it, at a certain point. Very strange, right? Just randomly. I've been to Russia before, but more importantly, I've been to Ukraine. I almost feel like Ukraine is to the USA as, you know, Moscow is in a certain way. I just feel like it's a different state. You know, it's like if you think about the difference between Ukraine and Moscow and the distance between New York and LA, it's right there. It's super close. Whereas New York and LA are super far. But what I'm getting,
Ukraine, I'm sorry to interrupt, but Ukraine is Russia's little sister.
yeah,
It's a little Russia, essentially. It's the same people for the most part that
they
were
speak
traveling back and
Russian.
forth. Yeah.
Not even the fucking slang is different. You know what I'm saying? It's all the same. It's like, dude, I dated a chick from Odessa. You know, there's super hot women in Ukraine, but it's like at the same time, people don't understand. Because look, in 2021, 2022, even people still don't fucking know. And it's, you know, whatever it is, what it is. They don't know the difference between Chinese, Japanese, Korean. And I even made a video about it. And you know, there's people like, oh shit, I didn't know it was offensive. Like, hell yeah, it's offensive. They fuck call me Chinese, bro. It's literally so different. Yes, we're Asian, but I'm saying like it's such a different thing. And then more recently, in the last decade or two, they've included, you know, Indian people from India as Asians. So, you know, when you see it, it'd be a different thing when the
Yeah, well,
Chinese
Indian people
language.
from India, which is really a subcontinent, as calling them Asians is just more politically correct bullshit in the end, you
No, I
know?
get it. But what I'm saying is imagine like someone from fucking Singapore, someone from the Philippines. I'm talking about totally different cultures, totally different things. Yes, but you're talking about Ukraine and Russia. And imagine like motherfuckers talk the same, look the same. You know, it's just weird. Unless, you know, you're from like Kazakhstan or something, you know, and like, you know, which they look Asian or they're mixed with Asian. They're Mongolian and shit, right? But they still speak Russian. You know, it's a weird thing. And so, anyways, all I'm getting at is I have probably the most famous person in Russia on my podcast. I have my boy Timothy on here, right? He endorsed Putin. Now, I don't fuck with Putin personally, right? I don't like, I'm like, oh shit, boom. And there were some things I thought about when I went to Russia. I was like, damn, dog, that's like probably the dude I'm not really trying to fucking, you know, you know, I don't want to go meet Vlad, bro. But you know, some people don't get it. Like,
Yeah, but it's more than listen. It's more than Timothy and what he feels about Vlad before he invaded Ukraine, because he was never in the wrong and never all in on a crazy gamble like he is now. This is a different story, and you're starting to finally get to know a person, you know, on the world stage after 22 years of power. Now that he's flipping his cards over, he can't let go of power, and he's getting old. And he saw Gaddafi being beaten in the streets and other dictators being overturned. And he knew he had to make some moves. And he went in on an empty dream of rebuilding the Soviet Union, which I was born in, by the way.
oh
You
shit, I
know,
didn't know that. Okay.
yeah, well, I was born in the Soviet Union. I watched it collapse. The Russian army came in into Azerbaijan to retrieve its nuclear arsenal and everything else while the Soviet Union was collapsing. And a new government was being constituted, and war broke out. And it was a serious, serious time. And luckily, we got refugee status to come to the United States. But I know the mentality of the people, and I know what's at stake here and what's at play. And what's at play got nothing to do with Ukrainians, got nothing to do with Russians. It's got to do with one man and his grasp on power and how he's going to try to hold on to that after entertaining a delusion. You know what I'm saying? And if I could describe what that delusion is, I would.
So let me ask you a question. What is the general consensus? Look, man, bro, the jewelry business on 47th, let alone in anywhere in New York City, is probably, I would say, fucking 90% fucking Russian, right? So it's like,
Right.
have you spoke to any Russian people? Like, I've completely kept off it, right? I haven't want to hear too many opinions. I've read some opinions, but have you spoke to, like, let's say even Greg, anybody Russian, and what their thoughts are? What are the general thoughts of Russian people in general? Are they back in Putin or are they back in the Ukrainians?
Hell no. I mean, people are frightened, bro. There's no reason that, you know, these two nations on a whim, one should be invading the other. It's just for the glory of one man. All this is happening is for the glory of Putin. Anybody who doesn't understand that, you know, it doesn't understand what's really going on. You just got one guy threatening and menacing the world. And the real question, that's the only question that matters, is when he's losing his grip on power, is he going to fire off that nuke or not? because he's not going to hold on to power with these sanctions and what's happening to the Russian economy and what's happening with their sons and daughters on a battlefield against a friendly neighbor that was historically, almost the same people and the same, always partners, all Slavic people, on a historic sense.
Let me ask you though,
You know, yeah.
who do you think today is more dangerous, Vlad or Kim Jong Un?
Vlad, because Vlad is at war in a serious situation. Kim Jong Un is firing missiles into the ocean. He's firing a missile over Japan. Ow, so scary. This guy is just sending a column 40 miles long to destroy and capture a city at all costs. His generals want to assassinate him. His people are in shock. Europe is arming Ukraine. They're backing Ukraine because they know that if he takes this country, that it's still going to be a nightmare. You cannot let an aggressive force on Europe take a single state, because everyone is going to arm themselves and everyone is going to go to war. It's happened before. As soon as one nation starts to make a power grab by violent means, the other nations have to take sides. And right now, nations are taking sides. Iran is going to take a side with Russia because that's their strategic partner. And if something goes out over there, they're not for the West. They might move in the Middle East. If they mobilize, someone else is going to mobilize. China's looking back and trying to figure out its move. If anything, if a war breaks out on any scale beyond out of Ukraine, they're going to take Taiwan, and they're going to, and then things can
100%.
get
Come on, bro.
upended.
Look, that's
Yeah.
the first thing I thought of. When I thought of the whole Russian shit trying to punk Ukraine, I said, you know what, bro? A lot of people are watching the results of this shit, because China's going to immediately go for Taiwan. And then obviously go to Hong Kong or whatever and all that shit, which is fucking nuts, right?
And let me say one more thing. I mean, you told me, let's do a candid conversation. In my opinion, you've been Americanized too much, bro. There's global shit going on a global scale, bro.
You're right.
And you're thinking about, what's the flyest fit, or,
No,
the
definitely
best
not.
cause bear
I'll tell you
going.
this. You probably didn't hear 2 episodes ago. I had stated my opinion on the thing. I said, look, man, there are so many, and I look, I'm not an immigrant. My family was. I know you came over here, so your mindset's a little different. Look, every single year we hear about America being like, oh man, this place ain't what it used to be. This place ain't what it used to be. This place ain't what it used to be. The thing is this though, regardless, for the most part, the general, even if it's a 55 to 45%, poll, people generally are like, look, man, there ain't many places you could just come to and start fucking some shit, or have access to success at least, or whatever. You
Yeah,
can't.
of course. Not
But
right now.
but I'll say this: we do have a lot of problems here. The problem is we have too many problems, right? But we have a lot of problems here. If everyone took care of their immediate responsibility, it'd be a different story. You want to go and figure out what's going on in Haiti. You want to figure out what's going on in Israel. You want to figure out what's going on, wherever there's an issue in the world. And let's just say, for instance, even if it's not a whole lot of money, the America's prepared to, spend $1 billion, maybe even $2 billion. There could be a lot of shit that could be solved here while we strengthen our borders and everything else. And that sounds fucked up and selfish, but you know what? Sometimes, bro, I'm sorry, Trax. Look, dog, you're going to try to take care of everything you can here before you're going to try to help out Pristine or try to help out fucking, Greg or something.
Course.
I'm just being honest with you, bro. I'm just being real. So
Yes.
Americanized or not, look, and I respect it. I get it. If there's something going on in South Korea, look, man, yes, that's my heritage. Yes, there's some things, and I'm proud, to represent, because there's nothing I could do about it. No matter what I do, I'm gonna always be Korean or looked at, in a certain way as an Asian person. So at the end of the day, the sentiment is there, but in reality, I can't sit there and be like, look, man, I'm about to go put on a suit and go fight. Motherfucker, are you crazy, dog? I have shit going on here. I've built a home here. And I understand why people go do it. I'm not knocking them. I'm just saying we have a lot of responsibility here. We have a lot of problems here that need to be addressed. Motherfuckers want to go save somebody that don't know how to swim that good, don't realize they're carrying double the weight now, and be like, now both the motherfuckers drowned. Do you understand?
No, 100%. I mean, I'm not saying America should commit to some intervention. I mean, if I was in control of the forces, I would knock everything over Ukraine out of the sky. Personally, why spend all this money on these F-22s if they're not going to shoot down some MiGs? For me, because this guy only understands strength, and he's making a major gamble. So, in all reality, he's going to destroy, Kiev. He's going to destroy Ukraine over the course of the next week. Destroy the whole country, and Western Europe is going to watch. And if something hits, if some issue arises, or something goes down, that war is going to spill out globally, and then we're going to have to join in, and it'll be too little, too late. It's either pay now or pay later. Pay double the price later, or pay now. But that's really my opinion, because I'm seeing something that I've never seen in my lifetime. And I understand the mentality of this guy, Putin. Yeah, tough guy, this, that, whatever. Who is he really? He's a murderer. He's a KGB agent who's ready to use leverage, just like the people in the Diamond District that I did business with my whole life. If they have leverage over you, if they're your supplier, they're going to use that leverage. If they're doing any type of business with you and you're reliant on them for any reason, they're going to sit here and harass you and torture you. That's who this fucking guy is.
Yeah.
And he's on the global stage. He thought he was going to take this country 1, 2, 3. Now he's getting bogged down, and he's not letting go, and he's not backing down. And
I mean, bro,
and
you act like fucking Ukraine is like the motherfuckers just not scared, bro. Do you know what I mean? They're fucking gangster as fuck.
Yeah,
So,
no, it's amazing. I'm on TikTok. I'm watching like every single move of what they're doing, and it's the Russia is a disorganized army. This guy, listen, they got an army, they got this artillery, but they got no organization because everyone is out for themselves. They're all just trying to grab as much money as possible and live like oligarchs. They all want to shop at Louis and live like the 0.01% in Moscow, and that's just a society on a global scale, really, today. And it was really prominent in Russia because of the corruption, man. And that corruption is here as well.
no, I know. When you lived there, who was in charge there? Was it Gorbachev? Who was in charge when you were living there?
Yeah, well, as it was collapsing, it was Gorbachev right under, I guess, after Brezhnev. I was born. He was in the 70s. I was born in 86. I don't really know who was in charge at that point in time, but he was losing it anyway. And then the whole system was collapsing. And then I guess Gorbachev and Yeltsin came in, whatever the fuck. And, we were out of there.
Damn, bro. Yeah, you know what? He was Mikhail Gorbachev was running the Soviet Union in 85, 84. God
Yeah.
damn, bro.
And what happened was, you know what I'm saying? Like, here's the problem with the Russian people as I understand it. Communism diluted their minds, right? For they went from peasantry, from serfdom, under the czars, to where they were, essentially property that could be traded for a horse or something like that. Two, communism. So they don't have a heritage in business or private industry like the Chinese, the Koreans, or even Middle Eastern people or what have you, or even Western people. They never had that. It was a landlocked country, so those people don't know how to develop proper businesses. They have the capacity, but they don't have the heritage, and they were never able to mobilize an economy across that country. All they were able to do was pump oil and steel, and that's what this guy Vlad did. He's the richest man on
Bro,
earth.
people don't understand this. What did you just say right there? What was the last thing you just said?
Putin's the richest man on earth.
Okay, so I speak about a guy. There's like 4 billionaires that I know, right? 3 of them I'm actually close friends with. One that I know, very seldomly talk, but I've had, in-person conversations with. He's probably worth, upwards of $100 billion, okay?
Right.
He was, Larry Ellison's banker. He fucking funded Apple, bro. Could you imagine this guy was Steve Jobs' banker? Like, this is a dude who's been billions and billions and billions of dollars wearing his entire outfit maybe cost $86. And I'm sitting here thinking like, Jesus Christ. He brought up this conversation to me. Now, just because you're a billionaire don't mean you're the smartest person in the entire world. But when you're financing probably 80% of the wealthiest people in the world, you know some
gotta have
shit.
something going on. Yeah,
So
you gotta have something.
he tells me, he goes, you can't look at, Mark Zuckerberg, you can't look at Elon Musk, you can't look at those numbers. I was like, what do you mean? He goes,
Hit the
those
numbers
guys,
out.
he said, those guys can't just go and try to buy the North Pole. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about right now? And he goes, Vladimir Putin tried to buy the North Pole like you're trying to buy your Lamborghini. And I'm like, wait, what are you talking about? And he goes, do you not get that, I have a friend, I won't say her name. Her dad's wealthy, billionaire in Russia. I don't know him like that or nothing. And now she is, married to one of the wealthiest Russians in the world. And she's had 3 kids with them, right? And this is someone that it's just such a different thing. You know how life can just be so fucking different for somebody, right? Even to the simple thing of, you did a movie with fucking, Julia Fox. I don't know if you've even seen her. Oh no, you did. You're doing scenes with her. And think, I met her the same time. And then this girl, she's running in the background, whatever. She's modeling. She's trying to do whatever she could. And then she's running with Ye on a global scale. She's everywhere. Even during important shit that's going on, you're going to see them in the tabloids, top news. So, I see this life and I'm putting together oh shit, this girl's dad was fucking stealing oil. And, that's what most of it came from, whatever. And this guy, a billion that I know, is telling me, he's like, do you understand, what a $250 million is, right? I was like, well, of course, and he's breaking it down. If you think about when the Egyptians were around building the pyramids, okay? And he says, now imagine if you had $10,000 a day. Someone gave you $10,000 a day, every single day. $10,000 every single day for those hundreds of years when the Egyptians were around until today.
You wouldn't have a quarter of it.
You wouldn't even have what Zuckerberg's worth, okay? And he's like, now imagine, and this is a dude, like I said, who's financed all the biggest billionaires in the country, at least, in the top in the world. And he's telling me, he's like, do you understand if you got the Walmart family, you got Zuck, you got fucking Warren Buffett, Elon Musk, everyone combined, they still don't have the money that Putin has. I was like, are you fucking joking me right now? And he told me this 4 years ago. He's like, yeah. Bro. He didn't say bro, but he was like,
Yeah. Listen, I'm not impressed by that.
I didn't say you're not impressed. Bro. I'm just trying to let the listeners understand what level of money and how fucking psycho. Now, imagine if Kim Jong-un even had, 200, who knows, he owns the country. I'm just saying, could you, it doesn't matter because, you could just do whatever the fuck you want and bring Mercedes-Benz and everything else. It's just what's wild is, it's one thing to say, oh, well, I know somebody who knows this person. Oh, I'm sure maybe if you got the, I know it sounds silly, but you have the fake Facebook friends and you have a connection, right? You have, oh, this person is mutual friend with this person, this person, this person. But in actuality, how many people are you connected to that know, Barack Obama, right? Or Ronald Reagan or something like that. When you get closer to Trump, you start realizing Trump was out in the streets, right? He's hanging out, partying, whatever. He's not wasn't hard to get. There are a lot of people who know Trump. Same thing with Putin. Putin, for being a dictator and running a country like that, you would think it's harder to get next to Putin. But this motherfucker likes his luxury cars. He's an avid watch collector, bro. He's one of the biggest Patek Philippe collectors. That's random and weird, don't you think, for a fucking dictator to just weird shit.
Kim Jong-un or Putin?
Both, actually. How about that?
Both of them, yeah, obviously.
Yeah,
everybody who's got money to burn collects these fucking watches and does whatever. The guy's got a lot of money, that's great, but he's also got a big problem. Is he going to die a natural death, or is he going to get shot in the fucking face in the middle of the night by one of his generals?
He's going to get killed by somebody, bro. Think about Gorbachev. Yeah. When he ran again in the 90s, bro, he didn't even get 1% of the fucking vote of Russia.
Yeah, all those Patek Philippe's are fucking ticking down his fucking life, bro.
So, all right.
With every chronograph and every ticker.
Let's talk about the real shit, right? And you'd be like, oh, well, I'm talking about the real shit. I didn't say, I'm saying how it affects people listening here who are in Botswana, who are in Miami, Florida, who are in Seattle, Washington, who are in New York City. Okay. Right. What do you think, okay, first of all, I know you're not Mr. fucking political analyst for the Behind the Baller podcast, but at the best case scenario, when do you think this completely stops? I know you don't know. I'm just saying, what if you were to guess?
Well, listen, the answer is you have to analyze Putin's behavior. Putin always used to tell a story when he was living in this Russian, a Russian apartment. Which when I was born, I was living in a Soviet-built apartment block. It's an elevator the size of a coffin. People used to piss on the floor. And when I was a kid, I used to take the stairs because the floor of the elevator would just be drenched in piss because people decided, hey, this is a bathroom, and used to just piss there. It was a concrete cave, you know? And what happened before I was born is that several families, communism, they know what the hell they're doing. They didn't build enough apartment blocks. And families would have to be crammed inside a fucking 2-3 families, a family per room. You got 2 bedrooms, you got 2 families living in one apartment. State decides where you live and how you live. You live on this street, in this apartment with this family. You don't even know who they are. Imagine that shit. People are complaining in this fucking country. So that's what was going on. And Putin always tells a story about some rat he was chasing around. And then when it was cornered, it was running around. When it was cornered, it leaped out to bite him or something along those lines. And he always remembered that when you're cornered, it's that last bite that you could take. And now that story is haunting the world, bro, because he's a cornered rat himself now. And he's deciding whether he's going to bite or not. Does he have faith that there's judgment upon him? Or he's 70 years old. He's not going to go and get dragged into the streets. So the Russian people are rising up as we speak. In 49 cities, they're taken to the streets little by little. And when those sanctions hit, those vicious, brutal sanctions, those real, like, warlike sanctions, Europe doesn't want an aggressor on their border, bro, taking over countries. They sanctioned the shit out of them. That ruble is going to be destroyed. The economy, and it cannot handle after COVID what's about to happen. And he's going to be a cornered rat. And everybody around the world is going to feel the repercussions of the sanctions anyway. They haven't yet. They don't know what's going on because they print the money. But now people are starting to feel the inflation. They're really going crazy. People who have nothing, who are on a limited pension or whatever, that inflation is killing them. Oh, me and you, if we go to the grocery store and we pay 30% more, whether we own or if you own your own house and already bought all your luxury cars, oh shit, you're gonna pay 30% more for a steak at a steakhouse. Boo fucking who? But for a fucking person who does that once a year and now can only do it once every 2 years or not at all, that 30% is already 25% underwater. So people are not going to be able to handle that. Plus, on top of the Russian sanctions, plus this motherfucker is a cornered rat. He's going to be bombing this. They're going to retaliate some way, somehow. Finland is giving jets to Ukraine because they're also on the border of Russia. And for them, they're not going to be waiting for him to knock out Ukraine and sit there and become aggressive again. That's serious stuff. And if people don't pay attention to that, they're going to, I hope that they're right and I'm wrong. Because, I don't want to fucking sit here and deal with this shit. I want to have a jewelry business and chase the American dream. But not so simple, bro.
I mean, I'm looking at this right now, right? Looking at the bordering states, right? You look at Poland, you got fucking Romania, you got Turkey, Bulgaria, Hungary, fucking, I mean, I don't know, this is such a crazy thing. I mean, China is right there, obviously bordering China. I would think that fucking President Xi is right aligned with fuckface,
Yeah, he's using them, of course,
Yeah.
The fucking President Xi don't give a fuck about Vladimir Putin. He's using him to be his fucking guinea pig to see what the world will react and how they will react when this bum takes Ukraine so he can have more experience and more leverage. That guy's actual smart dude. He's not a gas station attendant.
No, bro, come on. That
masquerading as a
dude
leader.
dude is President Xi's definitely a smart guy. Is he crazy and fuck? Yeah, for sure. This is the deal, though. I care, but I don't really. Gas is $6.11 across the street from my store, right? And it'll probably go up because this shit's going to last to whoever knows how long.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering when America does get involved. And if we really get involved for real, I think people forget, like really forget. Joe Biden's soft, bro. He ain't going to go in there and be on some aggressive shit. Look, we'll fuck around and blow up the fucking Russia 100,000 times, 1 billion times. It's not even, they're not even doing that old school fucking, that's nuclear shit, bro. That's literally fucking old technology. That's like talking about, yo, you're going to send somebody a fucking CD. You know, there's so much new shit. You know what I'm saying? Like the chemical warfare shit. Even like they could even
Yeah.
say COVID is something that's, you know, like that's been going on. Who knows?
Yeah,
That's how
well,
war.
nothing. Listen, nothing will outdo a nuclear fucking blast. It'll knock out a city. You know what I'm
No, I know,
saying?
of course. I mean, I'm just saying if it goes down to, I mean, we have more nukes than anybody, but
Russia's got the most nukes.
they got more than we do.
They've loaded up on nukes, Soviet era style. They went crazy on fucking nukes, and they got more than anybody else in the world. America doesn't even come close to. I think America has like 25% of the nuclear, but they don't need that many. It's just,
Yeah.
one nuke will knock out a city. How much cities are there in Russia? You got like America's got like 200. Russia's got 1,000 nuclear warheads. So you're gonna knock out. There isn't even 200 cities in Russia to knock out. Like, what are you gonna do? Shoot the fucking forest with nukes?
So let me ask you a question, man. So what else is affected besides the people who aren't living the 90 percentile of America? I'm
Yeah.
saying, how do
90% of America better pull its head out of its fucking ass because they got fucking. They're prostituting this country's currency. We're at the end of that cycle. They sat here and they robbed it ever since they went off the gold reserve. They've been robbing and pillaging the fucking Federal Reserve, printing capital, pretending it's some fucking of the people, by the people institution, when it's really another piece of shit. And they're sitting there prostituting this currency. Their quality of lives are going to decrease significantly. That's going to create more aggression around the world. Luckily, we're on the other side of the planet. And that's great for us. That's fantastic. But then the world is going to be captured by China in that case, and they're going to take the other side of the planet, which is considerably fucking bigger.
yeah.
And then, your children's children, and if I have children, my children's children will face the consequences of our actions when we wanted to fucking think about what's good for us on a lazy fucking weekend or whatever the fuck we're doing
No,
out here.
that's a really, really solid way to say things. You know, you think about it. And some people say, hey man, who gives a fuck, right? And that's where the society is at now. You see these kids now, they don't give a fuck. They don't want to save no money. They want to fucking wear their fucking Christian Dior. They want to go to their fucking, you know what I'm saying, Prime 112 steakhouse and fucking Mastro's and whatever. I'm just saying that nobody is thinking anymore. So there were people who were thinking 20 years, 30 years, and then it got shorter. There's like, oh, there's a 10-year plan, there's a 5-year plan. Motherfuckers have a 5-month plan. You know, they're like, oh, EDD money dried up. Let's go rob some people. Let's go do something. And I don't know where it ends, dog. You know,
Yeah, I'll
thank
tell you
God.
where it ends.
Where does it
I'll
end?
tell you where it ends. You fucking pack your bags and you go to some place where it's not completely fucked up, like I did when the Soviet Union collapsed, like my parents did. My father was a homicide detective. My mother was a journalist. They built a fucking life. They went to school. They graduated. They conquered whatever the fuck they had to conquer, and they still had to pack their fucking bags and learn fucking English. And I had to still go to ESL and fucking, be an immigrant in America
But look,
and do
bro.
English as a second language. So that's what the fuck is gonna happen.
No, no,
And
listen.
yeah,
Look, bro. People have said this more than I've ever heard in my life. This is the first time I've ever considered leaving Los Angeles, right? And people are like, "Oh, LA shit," blah, blah. And I get it. At the same time, I wish everyone fucking left, so I'm just back to my locals who really are here,
right,
not just the fucking
exactly.
10% of every single state that wants to come to LA to live in, you know, LA and fucking whatever the fuck. They're just fake people. But I had a buddy of mine who's my age too. He's almost 50, and he's like, you know, dog. I was like, fuck this. I'm about to own some property outside somewhere in the Caribbean. And boom, he bought a house in Bahamas. You know, he also has a place in the Philippines. And he was just like, yo, man, it's so low. The level of how cheap it is, it's cheaper than renting an apartment in fucking San Francisco or LA. What I own in these two places, you know, there ain't like crazy places, but he has land, more land than I do in my house, you know, and it's like, it was just real. You know, I just got back from Mexico, right? I was on an island. I was in Tulum. It was like nothing there 10 years ago. Now it's, you know, crazy resort, the number one destination, whatever. And I thought about it. I'm like, wow, I can't fucking believe that this property of land right here is $10,000. So if you got 6 of these things, now you have a decent spread of land for $60K, which ain't shit. Now, okay, great. You buy a house, you build stuff, whatever. But what I'm getting at is, it is definitely, you know, time to start thinking about that. And I know it sounds
Times are
fucking crazy.
changing, bro. The dynamic is changing. Everything is changing. You know what I'm saying? That
Gold,
COVID shit
price of
changed
gold
the
just
world.
the price of gold just fucking shot up. and I think it's gonna keep going up.
Listen, we don't know what it's going to do because none of the prices are real. They pump too much cash in. They're controlling the price of gold because they don't want to run on gold while everything else goes down. So they're pumping in fake paper fucking gold. Yeah, you want to buy 10 kilos on your computer? Sure. You know what I'm saying? Here's a piece of paper. You got 10 kilos somewhere, somehow. Go sell that paper to someone else. That's all paper gold.
Yeah.
We have no idea if they're doing the type of lies and the type of shit that they're doing around the world just with the COVID that we saw with our own eyes. If you sit here and you believe that the price of gold is $1,890 after $7 trillion printed, I got news for you, man. The real price of gold is $4,000 an ounce. You could double any spot price. So if you buy physical, one day the paper price is going to catch up. Even Charlie Munger, which is Warren Buffett, he's almost 100 years old, said that, the U.S. currency over the next 100 years, could be over the next 10 years, is going to go to zero. Then we'll see who's going to cash their fucking $1,900 an ounce gold price in for a fucking ounce of gold, bro. People are buying shit. They believe in the system, bro. I don't believe in the system.
I get it. So what do you believe in then, bro?
What do I believe in? Well, I believe in the history of the United States and how it came up. It had a nice global gold reserve currency, and people adopted it and put their faith in it. That's why you put your faith in the money. That's why they put subconsciously in the money, in God we trust, to redirect that faith, to remind you that you're supposed to put your faith somewhere else. No one cares about any of that right now. They put their faith in the money. He's a billionaire. He's a trillionaire. Watch prices go up. Prices are moving. The inflation is coming in, and the currency is going to get destroyed. So what is there to believe in? I don't know. Some people are using cryptos. That's great. It's a great way to move wealth around or whatever the hell is going on. I like to be able to, particularly because I'm in the jewelry business, I would feel comfortable, and some even my family members feel comfortable after hundreds of years of heritage and experience, to have their money in land and in gold, in silver, in businesses and watches and shit like that. That's where the wealth really relies right now.
Right.
And if you're buying an apartment block, that's fantastic. But if the people can't pay rent there, then you have a liability.
And I said that before the pandemic even actually got action. And a buddy of mine was like, "No, dog, I'm good. My renters are still paying." And I'm like, "All right, dog, let's see how long that lasts, homie." And eventually it did catch up. And he was fucking bummed out. Now, look, dog, at least you still have some shit. I'm just saying, my house and my condo have been my safest things. Of course, my crypto has been fucking out of control. It's gone up, 17,000%. But all I'm saying is, I bought my luxury cars. I own my house and everything else. So I'm straight. I'm just asking you what you think because, there was a point when Imelda Marcos just wanted to make peace with the Philippines because her husband ran a fucking muck and they ran amok for so many goddamn years, right? And no one knew what she was worth and whatever, boom. She went on the record, stated publicly that she was going to donate, I swear to God, Max, something this absolutely mind-boggling, asinine shit. She said something like she had 1 trillion kilos, something absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about it. I'm like, do you realize that would literally bring gold to fucking $5 an ounce? Do you know what I'm saying? Like if she cashed that in, you know what I'm saying? Like it was so absolutely crazy. When Saddam Hussein got caught,
right?
If you remember when he got caught, he had what, $300,000 in U.S. currency around on his person, right? When they started, we were raiding all his places, his side chick's house, all those places. Bro, my uncle who got me into the jewelry business, he goes, "Look at this picture real quick." This is like 2002. Remember the pictures back then? Mm-hmm. If you had a 1600 by 1200 pixel picture, you were like the man, right? That was like the biggest, like picture you could possibly imagine back then.
Right.
But think of 800 by 600 back then was a big deal. Look at resolution now on computers. You could have a 56,000, megapixel picture and be like, okay, that's big. But back then, you're looking at an 800 by 600 pixel picture of Saddam Hussein's stash house, and you're looking, let's just say the roof wasn't very high. Let's say it was 9 feet tall. Okay. Right. You're looking at
every pixel was a gold bar or what?
A gold bar. Every single thing. And I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking, look, you understand, these other people don't. When I gave Kevin Durant 2 kilos, You know,
Hmm.
he put in his pocket. He's wearing some fucking like some basketball shorts. Them motherfucker shorts almost but
Fell
broke a
the fuck
hole.
off, bro.
Yeah,
What was he
they almost
thinking?
fell off. It doesn't even matter. And what I'm getting at is those are killed. Imagine the gigantic bricks. Do you know what I'm saying? And
Okay.
my uncle was like, and remember, this
You,
was
you,
bro. Gold
you
was
got to
fucking
remember that.
gold.
Okay, here.
Gold.
Go ahead.
Listen.
Finish your thought.
Gold was $400 an ounce back then. Okay,
Okay.
look, he's like, do you have any idea how much money that is? And I was like, no, I mean, I couldn't imagine. I wasn't a jeweler then. And he's like, there's billions upon billions in one stash house. So like, you think about it, where'd that gold go? The Americans fucking seized it, right? So then where the fuck?
Who
So
knows what happened to it?
yeah,
Yeah, they stole it. It got stolen. That's what the fuck happens
yes.
to gold. Here's the deal. The underlying gold, all of the gold in the world, at the end of the day, has to pay for everything in the world and value everything in the world. If you have a $60 billion skyscraper and a $2 billion yacht, you got to pay for it. If something happens to the currency, the global reserve currency, you got to have the gold to back up the value of that. Think of how many skyscrapers, pieces of land has to be transacted on something that should have been based on gold or was based on gold for hundreds, thousands of years. So if you really look at everything you walk down, go up and down Manhattan, go through LA, and go travel around the world, and everything you fucking see, you have to account for. Right now, you account for and you believe in dollars. But if that belief goes away, you're going to have to account for every airport, every airplane, every fucking shoe that's ever been worn or is even going to be worn at this point in gold. And that's a lot of things to pay for with gold. And I don't think gold at $1,900 an ounce is going to be able to buy the fucking world. There's not enough of it. The price is going to have to go way up.
How do you feel about this watch and car bubble that's going on right now? And I call it bubble because it is what it is.
Right?
When do you think the watch market finally pops and people wake the fuck up?
Never. Here's what it is, bro. Rich people.
So listen real quick. Hold on.
Yeah.
So you think that a 5980 Patek Rose Gold
Will
is
be
really
350.
it is 350 right now pretty
It will
much.
stay that way. Yeah.
You think it's just going to stay at 350 honestly?
Yeah. I mean,
You think a
here's the
Submariner
reason.
you think an $8,000 Submariner is going to really stay at 13 14K?
Yep. Well, here's why. It's not that I think that. Here's why. There's enough dollars to back it up. The people with all of that super rich money, to them, that money doesn't mean what it means to somebody climbing the ladder. They see $100 bill, they see a fucking fun night. These guys see $100 bill and they see a piece of toilet paper, bro. They want the shit that money buys.
But
They
what I'm
won the
trying
game.
to tell you though is that there's a
Yeah.
lot of people that are supporting this bubble that aren't wealthy. They just want to have a Rolex. Do you know what I'm trying to say to you? They want to
Right.
drive a Lamborghini and keep up
Right.
with that lifestyle as much as they can until they can't afford to keep it anymore. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, look, there is no, I know they say there's a chip shortage or whatever. Boom. Let me tell you something real quick. They've never had this many exotic cars in the entire world. I refuse to believe if less than 1% of America makes, which is obvious, makes less than $1 million.
Right.
You should have $1 million before you buy a $300,000 car.
Sure.
That's just being realistic, okay?
Yeah.
Do you know how many motherfucking exotic cars? Back in the day, there'd be 500 to 1,000, and that would be considered a lot.
Mm-hmm.
There's 50,000 fucking exotic fucking Ferraris, Lamborghinis that are being built now on a per model basis now. So let's say
Right.
there's a,
And why do you think that is?
I mean, bro, there has to be some crazy shit going on,
Yeah.
you know, because the math is not adding up.
Yeah, there's not enough businesses, not enough economy to support the amount of people, rich people, that there are anymore. It's like a tribe of 20 Indians, and 15 of them want to be chiefs.
But yeah,
You
I
know?
get it. I get what you're saying. But at the same time, I have a friend who's been on this show 2 times, I think. She's very popular, one of the most popular non-celebrities. In fact, she's up there, top 3 most popular non-celebrities. It's a girl named Aria. And she runs a logistics company. And one of the logistics that she does is towing cars. California and Florida obviously leading the pack at the most repossessed states in the world when it comes to Rolls Royces and Lamborghinis and shit. They're repossessing the cars all fucking day long. There's auctions here and there. I'm just saying, because of IG, I even saw it hit
People are
Mexico.
stunting, bro.
Bro, I even saw it hit Mexico. I went to a beautiful island $3,500 a night suite was, that's not like the crate, but I'm saying for like Mexico, that's a big fucking deal, right? You could live like a king for 400 a night in some places. And I'm going there, and the lady even said, these people are taking pictures over here. So I'm like, okay, what's that? Oh, it's a cenote? Okay, great. You go to this place and it looks like a Mayan, like an island tunnel, underground fucking crazy place where like a hidden treasure's at. And you go there and you're like, yo, this looks like worse than someone's backyard. But then in the one area, the water is really nice. It's about the size of someone's very big pool. And there is, some natural rock and stuff. But what I'm getting at is they've turned it into like an amusement park where you can get that one little, that small little bit of real estate to get pictures. Do you know? It's cap. It's even getting to these, second world countries. I don't want to call Mexico a third world. So what I'm getting at is I think there's definitely a bubble, but I think the rich people, they enjoy it, of course. Just like, even on this Bitcoin shit, I refuse to believe that these billionaires that are holding Bitcoin, especially a lot of it, they're not about to let that shit fail. If it goes down to a certain point, they're going to fucking buy that shit up, bro. And they've been doing it. Even with these little weird crashes that have been happening, it went down a little bit. People are like, oh shit, the chart's back. It's hitting the 30s again. That shit's back.
You can't beat the math, man. You can't beat the math. You could buy it. You could prop up the price. You could print more, But if you look at the math, if you look at the Federal Reserve, what it's done, the assets that it owns, the interest that it owns, it's like a business, dude. I ran my business for years with losses, I'll
Yeah.
have to admit that for the point of making this point. And I was able to transfer the losses, on post-dated checks or whatever the hell I had to do, or take a loan. And, outward appearances kept going. I was able to deliver my goods, deliver my jewelry, but the gold price was going up. My margins were low, so on and so forth. People were stealing. But I kept it going, and I had to fight it out and survive and get back into the green. I was able to do it because I had my back to the wall and I had no other fucking way to make a dollar.
I
But
respect you so much for saying that on the record, bro, for real.
yeah, for sure. But I was able to pull back out of that, but it took a lot. And right now this country is like in same as that business. Every year it's losing capital, it's losing money. And
We've
it's
been,
hiding
though.
it.
United States
Yeah.
has been losing.
Well, it's a big country. It takes a long time to fucking see it. If my business could fucking do it for a couple of years, then I could fight it back, and no one will know a fucking thing, and I pay off all my debts and so on and so forth.
But
The
you ready
United
for this?
States,
United
yeah,
States could pay its debt back if people, like you said, got their heads out of their asses.
right, but they're not.
They're not,
They're
but they're
gonna
not.
steal and
Yeah.
drive it down to zero, bro.
When does that happen, though? That don't happen in 10 years, dog. No fucking way.
When does that happen? Well, that's a question I can't answer. Because I don't know the answer to that. It's a real, but the answer is in the math. If I was a math genius, I'd probably be able to answer it because you'd be able to see.
I'm gonna have the number one MIT mathematician fucking come on here and fucking tell me. But
Right.
as far as right now, currently today, how is the Joy business on 47th in New York City?
I don't know because I've isolated myself from the market conditions. I have some good clients. I have some serious things. Otherwise, everybody ate off the pandemic. Whoever was in it, whoever's in the business has been in one generation, two generations. They have their inventory. They have a small fucking booth or small. How do they do business? Low rent. They count the money themselves. They handle the business themselves. Their employees, their cousin, and some secretary that they're diddling. And they're sitting there and they're trying to fucking eat, and they ate well off of the pandemic. They got a PPP loan. They put it into watches. They flipped it. They did whatever they had to do. And they're in an assets business in an inflationary environment. So they're doing well enough. Anybody who's trying to get in, anybody who's waking up today and is 16 years old is looking at a fucking hill to climb to ever fucking eat in this country.
Man, you're telling me. And what was the first thing you said when I asked you how's business on 47th? What did you say?
I said I isolated myself from the nature of that business. I just fucking have an office, have a store there.
So Max, who isolated themselves from that business years ago?
Ben Baller.
Hey, I'm not lying. I'm telling you, I've said this before. I said, look, I'm self-obsessed. I'm obsessing what's going on with me, and I ain't got time to fucking pay attention to these motherfuckers. And good for all of them.
Let me tell your listeners in on a secret. People join in the jewelry business that want to do business, want to work with valuable materials, want to work with marketing. They make their money and then they move on to real estate or they move on to somewhere else. Or they build a brand or something like that and they move on. You know what I'm saying? It's a pit stop on the way to wealth.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's really all that business is for a serious person. Anybody who's conducting that business is still making pieces and sitting in their booth every fucking day has a different business strategy, and they're not a real business person.
Yeah. No, real shit. And you know what the funny thing is, even when I see other people who got out of the business, you know, it was, you know, not a stepping stool, but it was like, you know, a big part of how they got to their wealth. They're still
Yeah,
holding gold. They're still holding diamonds. They still got loose rocks because they didn't want to cash in and get taxed for some shit that they brought over
yeah.
from Japan or where the fuck they brought it from. But look, man, I didn't expect us to get this deep into it, but we always do. My question now is, what's next with the pandemic? Is it over? You know, are we just over it? Like, what's the deal? What do you think?
I'll tell you what the deal is. There's only one question: will there be another variant? And if there be another variant, then there'll be another variant
There is.
behind it.
There's a new one right now. Look at John Mayer just got a fucking new strain. He was like, "Yo, how the fuck did I get it again? That's impossible unless the first one was a false positive." But you know, he's like, "Look, it was a PCR. It can't." So now that means that there's a new variant that's coming around that's also strong. And I'm like, "Look, dog, at this point, bro, I don't give a fuck if there is a stronger new variant. I'm gonna be real with you. Nobody's going for it no more. No matter how many people die at this point. Look, I'm telling you, by summer this year, this year, motherfuckers are gonna have their birthday parties. They're not wearing this shit. They're not cracking down nothing. Even when the holiday comes and it gets real bad and ugly, look, dog, by the time my birthday comes around again, which is in January, because my birthday was just, you know, barely a month ago,
Right.
I'm gonna celebrate my 50th birthday. I know there's gonna be
Of
people out there.
course.
I'm just
But
saying, people ain't.
I'll tell you what's really going on though. You know, it was like that in New York. Everybody was over it, but then everybody disappeared from the streets. A quarter of my staff got sick at the same time. 25% of my staff all at the same time were sick with fucking Omicron. And the city turned into a ghost town. I used to in 2007, it used to take me if you missed your turn on 47th Street or whatever, trying to get to the garage, you would take you in 45 minutes to spin the block.
Yeah, I know.
That's how much traffic there was. Now I get to work in 15 minutes, bro.
Yeah.
So we could complain about the foreigners coming and taking up the rent, but they're really feeding the economy because the restaurants are suffering. No one's spending money. And the inflation is killing everybody's ability to spend. That's going to strain every business. It's going to knock out the sun, bro.
Oh man, all I know is we had some good ass Italian food last time I saw you, man. We had some good wine too.
Yeah.
I was really
The
surprised because
vintages.
that was our first time really sitting down having a good meal, like sitting down, and it was a low key spot. It was walking distance to my
Yeah.
hotel. You know,
And I'm sorry to interrupt. You planted a seed into my head that nearly destroyed me over here. You you told me about Japanese candies that you're eating, or maybe that was on the
oh
podcast.
man, yeah. No, I mean,
As as soon as you said Japanese candies, bro, like I had a bug in my head. I know I have a Japanese candy a store, Japanese store, Kobe beef or whatever the hell, Wagyu and everything in Queens. I went in there stoned. I fucking filled up a shopping cart. I'm sitting there. These Japanese candies and everything, they all come in with individual wrappers inside of individual
yeah,
wrappers. I got wrappers all over there. I'm thinking I'm Ben Baller. I'm fucking trying these. And in the end, I realized all this shit is artificially flavored. You know, it's a nightmare. I almost threw
bro.
up at the end of
Yeah,
that.
it's just. Look, dog. I have my shit that I fuck with. I just got back from Mexico and they had Coca Cola. I'm sorry, Haribo gummy cola roulettes. I used to have to pay $2,500 a month to get my cases of that shit from Belgium and random areas. Now you know you can get it duty free. It's still not exactly just the easiest for you to
Yeah.
walk in. You can get gummy colas anywhere, but the fact that the roulettes were just the way that the texture was. I'm a weird dude, bro. Don't get involved in my shit. Like,
Yeah.
there's a place on 32nd and right next to Battery Park. There's this Japanese market that had Pocari Sweat there, and they got the Japanese fucking all the crazy different flavor ramen and all that shit. And
Yeah.
it's just like, dude, you know, some people it's McDonald's, some people it's this, some people it's just like, hey, I'm just happy to have a meal. You know, I just got into what I liked and you know, I was like, all right, well, this ain't from here. It's not America. It's not like regular Doritos. I wanted some different shit, and it became a hobby. And I started hoarding it. And then during the pandemic, I was like, well, I want to be able to enjoy this. I don't want to have to lose it. So like, I've always had that problem of hoarding things and whatever, and my exotic shit. And every time I go to Japan, it's one of my favorite places to go to. I deal with that. And by the way, if you guys didn't know, there's a Trax NYC in Tokyo because Max is a real fucking smart guy.
Thank you.
But I mean,
Let me ask you: you were in Mexico. You were with your wife. Did you bring your kids? Or it was just you and the wife?
no, it was just me and the wife this time because it was our 10-year. We had to. She needed a very, very serious. She needed a break more than anybody from the kids.
Were they with grandparents?
They're with the grandparents, and I have a nanny, and we got a driver and all that stuff. So they were good. My
So
brother-in-law,
how did it feel to be? How long were you out there for?
6 days.
How was it?
I ain't gonna lie to you, dog. It was paradise from the fact that everywhere we were planning on going to pretty much was a 13 to 28 hour flight. Like, with layover here and there. I don't do layovers. I just can't.
Never.
So it's just like too much of a fucking nightmare. So I was like, look, we're going to be in paradise in 4.5 hours, right? Well, to mind you, there was definitely a long drive because it's not like it's Cancun or Playa del Carmen. It's the furthest down the island, So it was great. Food was seriously some of the best. I had a great time. It was definitely a lot of money, but fuck it. It is what it is. And it was our 10-year. It's a big milestone in our marriage. So, we had a great time.
Well,
Doc.
it was a lot of money. I mean, listen, you wanted a candid conversation.
Probably like around. I'm just saying. I don't know. Probably
10
like
grand, 20 grand?
no, bro. It's probably like 38,000 for 6 days.
Oh, okay. Well, what was it per night that it could be that much? I mean, even the top places.
So it was
You must have had your own villa or what?
It was 3,500 a night for the hotel. That's not without taxes and resort fees, whatever.
Right.
I had a private security guard who had a fucking 50 clip fucking machine gun that is with
Right.
me 24 hours a day. I had a driver. We ate. Anytime I'm talking about sitting down for a little bit, like, let's say you wake up, there's breakfast, okay, right there, boom, that's 150, 200 out the gate, okay? Then lunch, you want to have drinks, you want to have snacks, boom, that's another 200 right then and there. Then there's dinner, it went really, really fast, bro, It was...
The dollar don't go that far today.
It wasn't... No, I remember back in the day, I could be in Cabo, and you could live there for a month like a king for 5,000. I'm talking about the whole month.
Yeah.
Like literally every night, hotel, everything, boom, food. You have tacos, have everything, have room service. And if you spend $60 in the 24 hours, you're like, God damn. It's just different now, bro.
It's a whole different story, and it's changing by the day. But yeah, sounds good. I mean, you got to enjoy a fantastic time. You with your wife. Well, count your blessings, bro.
No,
You know
I
what I'm saying?
definitely do. I feel very grateful. I got to ask you this before we end this shit, bro. Do you think this shit in Ukraine and Russia extends to the summertime?
No, we're going to see this play out very quickly. We're going to see what's up. Right now, it's a crisis moment in the world, and the news ain't covering it. They're not dealing with it. There's nobody at the wheel of this planet. I don't believe anything they're saying. I don't believe the last election was legitimate. I don't believe any of this shit. I'm feeling like I'm paranoid, but I don't think I am. I don't believe in the gold price. I don't believe the stock market is where it's at right now either. You know what I'm saying? I know that the Fed is buying up all sorts of bullshit on the back end. It's not like in the '08 crisis where they came out, they said we need $800 billion to keep the global economy. Right now, they're not saying anything. They're doing it behind the scenes. So
Okay,
I
hold on.
think that
I know you're
yeah.
not a conspiracy theorist. You don't think like fucking 35,000 years ago there was fucking aliens like the Scientology shit.
Right.
I know you're not on that level.
No.
But my question is, do you believe, and I know you heard about this, do you
Right.
believe in the ghost of Kiev?
Well, I'll answer that question. If I believed in it, I'd be a fucking idiot because I have no real evidence. I didn't fucking see this guy knock anybody. I just heard some hearsay. Maybe it came from something true that somebody knocked out a couple of jets and they wanted to, but, I'm not a 14-year-old TikToker to fucking sit here and play Call of Duty and pretend I'm the ghost of Kiev, man. Well, you need to see it to believe it. And you need to know the facts and really see the large scale shit to really believe something.
I mean, dude, some of these big sites, like the Independent, that's a real news site. They're like, this shit's a
Yeah.
fucking urban legend, dog. That shit's cap.
They don't know either. They say urban legend. I lost my faith when Fauci said masks don't work. then they do work. Then wear two. Then wear a KN95. I was wearing a KN95 the whole time. So if I know more, then and you and me know more
Bro,
at the
I said
beginning of the pandemic.
I went against the Surgeon General and said, I was like, you guys are fucking stupid as fuck. So you don't think you think a fucking doctor is sitting
Yeah,
there looking at vaginas all day, not where this is before the pandemic. Bro, I was
yeah.
using sanitizer before that. So the fact that these dumbasses say they don't work and they work here and there, I don't know what the people are fucking crazy. But of
That's all you need
course,
to see. You
yeah.
saw it with your own eyes. If you and me, two jewelers or whatever businessmen, know more than the top virologist and the Surgeon General, that's all you need to know. That's
I, I
it.
just
Done
I just
deal.
I just really wonder, like, is this motherfucker Putin gonna get taken out, by his own people? Is he gonna get taken? I'm just curious because,
Well,
yo, man,
you're
this is
watching a movie. It's like you never saw Scarface and you're watching it for the first time. And right now, it's already in. He's in the restaurant trying to pull the hair of whatever her name
Michelle
was,
Pfeiffer.
Michelle Pfeiffer. And you're seeing the scene. You don't know how the movie's gonna end at
What
all.
do you think, though, bro? Do you think Putin? Okay, there's a better question. If you had to put $1 million
Right.
on Putin being alive in 2023 or not being alive, what would you do?
I'd put it on not being alive.
Damn.
I wouldn't risk it on him being alive, man, because what he's doing, I understand the mentality. He couldn't take Kiev. He got frustrated in Ukraine. You got to understand. He wanted to rebuild his legacy. The guy's life was all about a delusion that he was going to restore the Russian prestige around the world. That dream failed. All he ever did was steal money. And he fucking got Belarus, a puppet state, a tiny bullshit ass state. There was no prestige. He got scared subconsciously. And he was trying to take Ukraine for his legacy. He saw he was getting 70 years old. How are you going to rebuild the Soviet Union if by 70 years old you haven't even done shit? So he went in on his pipe dream. And now he can't get out. And now he's that cornered rat he was talking about from the beginning. And the question is he, like that rat, going to bite? Because the world is what's going to corner him. And is he going to value humanity over his own ego? That is the question at hand. And I don't know the answer to that question, man, because it doesn't look like he's valuing humanity when there's thousands of Russian soldiers dead and he's putting in vacuum bombs to bomb Kiev as we speak.
Yeah. I mean, this is a crazy time.
Yeah.
And you know what, man? I want shit there. I want there to be peace, but I think it's been quiet for too long, and shit's fucked up right now, bro. The pandemic is fucked. People, again, the people think that, oh man, look, even Pitbull, who sounds really smart when I hear him talk, he was like, look, they were able to do this shit and control a country with the virus. Control a country, dog? They control 200, every single country that exists on the earth. The fuck is you talking about, bro? You know what I mean? Like, come on, dog. Like, whether it was man-made or not, I don't give a fuck about all that. People did die. You know what I mean? Lots of them. So it's like, just to say some
Right, of
crazy
course.
shit, like say some crazy shit like that. Just like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
but
people are disconnected. Well, that's the problem. Some people are disconnected from reality and they don't recognize reality until their pockets are empty and poverty strikes them in the face because they believe in nothing but money. All they believe in is money. And only when the money goes away will they realize the truth. And it is, upon this generation that this is going to fall within our lifetimes. I personally understand because the world is mismanaged. People are ungrateful. They're thinking about what they could take, they're thinking about how they look. It's a game where only 1 out of 1,000 people win. All right. That's not the game for the world to play.
yeah,
And when people become lovers of money, lovers of self, bad things happen, and people die. And then when they see their friends die, and they realize what life is all about, and they realize that listen, when you're a young dude like you or me, you know what I'm saying, relatively young, you got years ahead, you got shit you want to do, you got places you want to see. You're looking at life from a completely different perspective about all the things you want out of it. But when you're at the end of it, you're looking at life completely different and you're thinking about what did you leave behind. It's a whole paradigm shift, a dynamic. And that paradigm shift right now, whole society, they're all thinking about, oh shit, I want to be in Ibiza. I want to be dancing like in these music videos. I want to sit here and be front row at the Lakers. I want to do this. I want. Everybody wants to take. Less and less people want to give. That's not going to sustain itself for a long, long time. This generation is going to have to fucking deal with the consequences of their actions. You got global warming. You got a pandemic that didn't fully go away yet. You got a serious aggression. You got a collapsing currency. You put those things together, and then you have, and if war doesn't break out, I don't know what to tell you, bro. All I could tell you is I was born in the Soviet Union, and my parents thought they were going to die in the Soviet Union. They thought that was going to be the country, and it was going to last another fucking 1,000 years. They couldn't even conceive it. But guess what? They had a wake-up call, and when it was time to fucking get on that airplane and leave everything behind, and I was a 6-year-old kid, I never forgot it. And, in the back of my mind is always a collapse. So that's really where I'm at.
Hey, bro, look, man, I don't know what happened. I'm glad you're here. Mm-hmm. Even when I think about the times that I wanted to fucking put you in handcuffs and beat the fuck out of you and kill you, I am very glad. And shout out to my boy Safari. He still hits me up. He's like, his IG page got banned. And mine was gone. You know what I'm saying? I had to hire an attorney to get it back. That's a whole nother discussion. Because some of the funny shit you've done is fucking amazing. But we'll get into that another time.
Yeah.
Right now,
survived somehow.
I do want to say, Max, I always appreciate the talk. I appreciate you jumping on so candidly, so quickly. And I'll be in New York in 2 weeks, bro. We definitely got to connect. It's
a privilege. Anytime. I'm looking forward to it. And I can't wait to talk about the aftermath next time we meet or we talk.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. All right, Max, I'll talk to you soon, my brother.
God bless, bro.
All right, man. Yo, Miles, man, throw some music on and let's get right to a commercial and be right back with the outro of the show. Shit. Yes, sir. Lakey Lake, man. What up, y'all? Trax is a wild boy, man. Trax is a wild boy. I never thought I'd fuck with this dude like that, man. It's crazy shit. That's why you never know. When you know, you know. When you don't know, you just don't know, right? It just, you wouldn't expect it because, you just, like, some motherfuckers are just bitch-ass motherfuckers. They're just a hoe-ass, sucker-ass, punk-ass clowns. Completely full stop. Pivot into something I don't want to associate that bullshit. But I do got to say real quick, rest in peace to my boy Buys One. He was a pillar in the hip hop community, and I mean the real hip hop community. I'm not talking about the Baby or these other rappers or whatever. I'm talking about somebody who's really around that boom bap, kept it alive till now. Was a big reggae head. Was from Bakersville, California. Came out to LA around 97-ish, worked in radio, represented a lot of DJs. I met him through my boy Mr. Chalk from the Beat Junkies. He was doing a ton of shit in music, promotions. Is a very, 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 very integral figure in the radio game and in the DJ servicing game. Last time I talked to him physically, it was maybe like 4 or 5 years ago. We were definitely, boys. He had bought some jewelry, but we've known each other since I was in the music business, since I was a DJ. And he was always a good dude. He had a daughter. And he passed away from COVID, man. It's really fucked up. He had got it right around New Year's. And he got that strain that everyone was getting. Every single fucking person right around Christmas time got it, right? I had it, obviously. And, it just got worse and worse. He wasn't in the best health. He was not vaccinated at all. And it got him, And, he was trying to talk to some people. My boy Reflex was the person who put me up on it first. And I don't want to make this about that. It's just a situation that happened to my cousin Rex. And that was before the vaccine was really available, so it doesn't really matter. But it's kind of fucked up the situation because Buys was a good person. There's no doubt 100%. But he did let these conspiracy theories get the best of him. I'm not tarnishing his death. I'm not overpowering. I am telling the truth. You know, can't ever avoid that. And no, sometimes it's not as simple as 2 + 2 = 4, but there are truths. And he was spewing a shit ton of anti-vax conspiracies and things like that. It's just a goddamn shame. There was no necessarily, pre-existing conditions that I know about, that I've talked to family about, whatever, rest in peace. God bless his soul. Just goddamn shame. I had a few of my homies, my boy, like I said, my boy Reflex, who was so random. I just need fucking totally, I always forget that Reflex was Kanye's DJ. Like I always fucking forget that shit. But he had told Buys, and I think a few of my boys like, yo, dog, go get vaccinated, man. We love you. It's all good. Just go get vaccinated, and what did it say in life? I would be betting money that I would have saved his life. Better news. We are working on video right now. We got a couple ideas of how we're going to do a video. There's going to be some stationary video shit that we would do maybe in a studio or a man cave, but we got another idea for video that's going to be fucking sick for guests. And I'm excited about it. We already started buying cameras, started buying equipment and stuff. And I already have the working machine that we're doing this video on. So Jordan is on it. Miles is on it. They already do shows that do video. It's just a different type of thing. It's a different beast. But obviously, it would make the show a whole different element. And I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. For everyone who listens to this, obviously still right now through, their iPhone, through their drives and stuff, look, I'm excited for it. This is just going to bring a whole different demographic now with video because I'm doing what I do without video. We got the video side of it. You're going to see my ugly ass mug. We going to get it in. I got back in town, right? And as soon as I fucking land, I'm like, yo, I need to clear my head. Go through customs. I get back to the house and I'm like, look, I got 2 hours to kill before I see my kids and pick them up at school. I was like, let me do some shit, right? I go to Dave & Buster's because I needed to hear some retro video game environment sounds. And I go to the one in Santa Anita Mall. This is fucking way the fuck out of. It's like 40 minutes away from my house. Go over there, just vibe out and just chill. Shout out to my boy Popeye. Obviously, shout out to Dave & Buster's. And then, I'm right back in the shit with my kids and everything. By the way, my credit card got declined at the airport for fucking Panda Express. Shouldn't even fucking hate that bullshit, but I was like, I want something different. And it was crazy because it was embarrassing. Like, you hand them a black card and be like, all right, well, it's declined. I'm like, oh, really? Okay, fuck it. Use a different card. But I had to call the card and they said it was suspicious activity because I've never used it for anything under like $600 or whatever. Or even really, those purchases are usually like in that $7,000, $6,000, $5,000, $20,000. They're for big purchases and for business for the IF & Co. So it was like $21, motherfucker. It was low-key embarrassing. Anyways, I get a text Wednesday morning, get a text from an old boy of mine, Saya. And he runs a sports agency, which I'm not tripping, whatever, it's management. It's called Paradigm Sports. And come to find out, one of my boys who did my sizzle reel and worked on my reality show before anybody else, a student named Audie, he's a trip, motivational dude, powerful guy. I didn't know this motherfucker started this sports agency. This is my dog. And he's been managing Conor McGregor since forever. And like, I've always been cracking jokes about Conor McGregor, whatever. But he's like, yo, this dude, my client, wants to come shop with you. He wants to meet you, the whole nine. And I'm kind of surprised because I know who dude is. I've bet on him before, on my bookie and shit like that. No cap. I've mentioned him on posts. And, it's Israel Adesanya, right? And I'm like, oh shit, this motherfucker's the man. He wants to meet me. Like, all right, cool. So I had a meeting at XL yesterday. It went great. One of my agents had left. And a weird situation. But we just wanted to get everything level, on the up and up, get an attack plan, figure out things. And so I go to my store, which I rarely go to. And as you guys know here, I don't talk about, my IF & Co store that much. But go to the store and I meet Israel. And he has his crew there. He has his boys, his managers with them, boom. And we chop it up for like 2 fucking hours. We chopped it up so much that I had to be like, oh shit. How my wife called me like, yo, Kaya's got ballet lessons. Like, you need to hurry up and get your ass home. So I'm like, shit. We had chopped it up so much. The dude is so well versed. Such a great person, just great energy. It was a trip. Like, this dude is, like, respect for his elders, the way he was raised and everything. Told me about the story, from Nigeria to New Zealand and living in Auckland and all this stuff, and just him coming up. We had this great talk, man. Dude dropped a fucking bag in my jewelry store. And I already could tell, like, me and him are going to be, there's a future, friendship and everything. He's talking about, his next big fight is in July, probably. Well, most likely this summer in Vegas. Can't wait to see dude fight again. He's a bad motherfucker. So yeah, man, shout out to Israel and the whole Paradigm team, Saya, Tim, Audie, all them. Yo, the crazy part was when I was in Mexico, I totally forgot that every single fucking, on my Prime network, it would look different. Like if I had movies I already downloaded and bought, good. Netflix, a lot of shit wasn't available. And I'm like, this is bullshit. Hulu, like I couldn't watch any Hulu show. I couldn't watch Pam and Tommy, or Tommy and Pam, whatever. I couldn't watch my fucking other shit. I couldn't watch Bel Air. I couldn't watch nothing, right? And what I couldn't watch on Amazon Prime was I couldn't watch Force, motherfucking Power Book Force. So the only thing that was available was Euphoria, and I'm gonna get into that in a second. But as soon as I got back, I think Tuesday night, I watched all my shit, Law and Order, fucking Bel Air, whatever, boom, here and there. Watching Bel Air, I'm like, this motherfucker, Carlton, is the biggest, saltiest hater. They made this motherfucker like, what's up, man? God damn. Show's watchable, it's cool, but it's definitely like, it feels like All American, right? A little more thugged out than All American, right? But it's like, I don't know. And I can't see how this shit, because they drop in N-words, they drop in curse words. I don't know how the fuck this is on NBC. I guess it's only streaming on Peacock. I'm not really exactly sure. But Force, this week's episode of Force, or Sunday's episode, was good. It was another filler, but it was a needed one. It was legit. I've actually reached out to Joseph Sikora, who is, Tommy from Power, from Force. And I don't know, it sounds like he's down. I don't know. From the person that was making it happen, seem on some punk shit, whatever. I'm not with all that fucking weirdo shit, especially because I've had anyone that you could think of that, that I could reach out to do it. And if it didn't happen on the show, an interview was because of me, not because of them. Meaning they didn't want to be on the show or anything. There's nobody I've ever reached out to that wasn't down. There's a certain like vibe I'm trying to put on here. If I want to have rappers on here all the time, boom, I'm sure we could do a session where we do 1 month and we do 4 rappers that month or whatever and do that. And we do video, it'd be perfect for that time. Now, found out that Sam Levinson is the creator, the writer, and the director of Euphoria. He did a movie called Assassination Nation. Done some other things, and I love that movie. That movie was fucking crazy as shit. And it reminded me a lot of Euphoria. Euphoria is obviously a lot more drawn out, a little more elaborate than just having a, hour, 45-minute movie. But what's crazy is I'm on the Complex page and they tag Sam Levinson, because they just had, the finale, whatever, and it was a big show, and it crashed the website or whatever, and I don't even know what the fucking, I don't know how many, I guess it's a short season, but I click on the dude's page, it's private, and he follows me, and I'm like, nah, man, this can't be really the dude, not the real creator of Euphoria. So I go on Zendaya's page, she follows him. I go on Drake's page, Drake follows him. I go on fucking Jacob Elordi's page, follows him. Go to Angus Cloud, follows. I'm like, yo, this is really him. So I pushed dude, follow him. We end up chatting up in the DMs. Cool dude, but I kind of gave up on Euphoria. Not because it was super hella gay. It just lost me. The first episode was dope. The rest of them were I didn't vibe with them. I don't know what it is, man. First episode was so fucking good. Like, god damn. It was dope that, that they're focused on my boy Angus Cloud. But I might get and check out, the rest of them and breeze through them and see the finale. I don't know. It's a trip. I just wanted to tell you guys that I wanted to flex and say that the fucking creator follows me. All right, that was dope. But that's about it. Oh, you know what? My bad, man. The Lakers. You know what? I should fucking skip this over. We're playing like shit. It's fucking terrible. Can we make the fucking play-in at this point? We ain't gonna make seventh place. It doesn't look like it. It's fucking pathetic. Now, hear me out real quick. Can it happen if we get in there and then we have to go and now get into, a 7-game series with someone? We're so inconsistent. I feel like we might have a chance to fuck around and take it out. You never fucking know. You can't count us out. Even though we're that bad, it's just such a weird thing where we can beat these great teams. So I don't know. And again, the inconsistency, that's a good thing for us when it comes to a 7-game series. Like, you never fucking know. We might take we might take everyone 7 games. It's such a weird fucking thing. But, we are playing like shit. Everyone's blaming all kinds of people, all kinds of shit. The Lakers are talking back to fans now. Like, the fuck is going on here? Like, shit is weird. Meanwhile, Philadelphia, whew, bro, James Harden right now. And look, Joel Embiid was already whooping they was whooping teams' asses. Okay, they was whooping that ass. Now they got their own little trio. Man, bruh, like, I don't know. Kendrick Perkins had said that he thinks the Philadelphia 76ers are going to the finals. Now, I agree. I think they are. You know what I'm saying? Like, why wouldn't they? But can they win? I don't know. Can they beat the Phoenix Suns? I'm not exactly sure. I don't know. But Tyrese Maxey, these guys are a problem. They whooped on Milwaukee. They've already beat these other teams without Harden. Now that what's going on, it's a whole different level. They're just on some different shit right now. But yeah, man, we're just, I don't know, man. It's a fucked up situation. But this was definitely a full-fledged episode of BTB this week. I do appreciate you guys. Look, I'll be back on Monday with the weekend wrap up. I'm going to get this shit cracking. We're trying to get this video stuff ASAP. I'm not fucking playing with y'all. It's going to take a little time. We might drop the audio versions first and then the video comes out next because it takes a little time to obviously edit all that. But I'm excited to show you guys what we have planned. And again, BTB Army, thank you so much for everything. I appreciate you guys so much. If you're not subscribed to the show, please hit that subscribe button and it will help a lot. And that's it, y'all. You already know, man. My man, Lakey Lake. You know what time it is, Lakey. All right, man. Let's get out of here. All right, y'all. Peace.